Good morning, everyone. Hope you're enjoying a beautiful Tuesday. We're now in April, and I guess, well, in North America, we're starting to see some spring weather, although we did have a bit of some cold front snow over the weekend, and, you know, you can start seeing the sun, the birds, etc. A bit of rain as well. But I'm joined here today with Amalia as well, and look forward to an exciting WSI LaunchPad webinar. Definitely have a few items of news to share with you today, and look forward to doing so. Before we begin, just so we are all on the same page, wanted to make sure that we do a bit of an audio test. Um, if you can just let me know through your chat that you can hear me fine, that would be great. Been having some issues with GoToMeeting lately, and want to make sure that the voice is not shaky, but it's all is good. Oh, awesome, great, thank you very much. So it looks like we're okay. As I mentioned, Amalia is with me today. Michelle won't be with us today, but I do have Amalia. And Amalia.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say good morning to everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning, and I hope you enjoyed today's webinar.
Excellent. So let's just begin. The agenda for today, news and articles. I do have a very extensive article on some ideas in regards to SEO, and definitely we'll be sharing that with you today. But to begin, definitely, right away, wanted to share something that Google notified webmasters over the weekend through the Google Search Console message center. And that you should, just as a precaution, I'm pretty sure that, based on my understanding of the IC community, I know that they don't do a lot of actual blogging on different sites, but if, just as a precaution, if you can just check your clients Google Search Console, also known as Webmaster Tools, in their message center, there was an actual Google notification that penalized sites for unnatural outbound linking. So this just happened, I believe, actually it was over the weekend, and the mass Google manual actions for outbound links was related to the warning that Google gave a few weeks ago. If you recall, we discussed a few items that Google had asked bloggers in regards to giving links in exchange for free products or services, which is known as a black hat practice, right? So Google did warn a few weeks ago, and over the weekend they actually set out to penalize those sites with what they call unnatural outbound links. Google told bloggers that if they were to actually write about products or services as bloggers, that they have to follow specific instructions. In this case, no follow the link. If you decide to link to the company's site, the company's social media accounts, an online merchant's page that sells a product, a review service page featuring reviews of the product, or the company's mobile app in an app store. So do a no follow link, and whoever did not listen, well, they got penalized. So there is a supporting link if, let's say, you are an active blogger, or your client is looking for bloggers to write about them or their product or service as part of their strategy. Just to be careful that it's done in a very proper fashion. So I'm going to be sharing that definitely in a second. We'll be sharing this link so that way you can definitely have a look at it. And this again only affects those blogger sites that are doing this malpractice, right? So this is something that you should definitely check in case you never know if your client's doing some blogging or some sort of promotion of their of a product or service from a distributor, right? So anyways, I'm pretty sure the odds from our network are very, very small. But anyways, I wanted to let you know that Google did go through with their warning. And here's an example of some of the complaints in regards to the manual action and how to fix it. So basically they are letting them know that these is an unnatural outbound links from this case was sammitthebeautybuff.com. So Google is coming down hard on this practice, and again, it's one of those things that it was a bit of a gray area in the past and finally Google got to it. So I'm pretty sure it was in their laundry list for a while, and just letting you know that you know what, little by little they are really trying to clean up anything that they deem to be unacceptable when it comes to SEO practice. So I wanted to share this with you, and as a matter of fact, I do encourage you to, as a precaution, anyways, check your client's Google Search Console for any type of messages, as Google has actually released this message for those that got penalized, and they actually have a secondary message. Um, in regards to this next piece of news that I also wanted to share, that now Google, through the Search Console, is sending page speed update notifications. Okay, and this again confirms the fact that load speeds are very important when it comes to having a healthy, technically sound SEO website, right? So as a matter of fact, if you're based on the article by Search Engine Land that notify this, they mentioned that if you're running an outdated PageSpeed install from Google, Google will let you know via the Google Search Console Notification Center. And basically, they will let you know that they're detecting an older version of PageSpeed, because some sites do have this plugin or this code inserted to keep it in check. And again, this check your search console, your client search consoles, to find out if any of your clients are getting these notifications. And the reason they're doing this is because they want to make sure that your page speed version of PageSpeed is updated, but also to continue to promote the fact that, again, uh, 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 page speed is very critical for SEO in a healthy website. The other thing that they do mention is that outdated or unpatched software can be vulnerable to hacking and malware exploits and harm potential visitors to your site. So as a secondary precaution, you want to make sure that if they are running this specific snippet of code or page speed install, that they update it. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you, and very important that you make sure that your client sites are up to par, specifically if they're running this. And I know that we've had a couple of sites that received this notification, and we were able to quickly update them. So just want to let you know, keep an eye on your client sites. And as a matter of fact, what I would recommend is on a weekly basis, at least once a week, visit your client's Google Search Console notification center, just to find out how things are coming along and how their site's performing. So definitely wanted to share that with you. Now, Amalia actually has another a piece of news in regards to Google warning site owners about mobile friendliness.
Yeah, that's correct. So basically I want to share everybody with this particular article. It's called Google Makes AdWords Products tabs a little bit more useful for
Oh,
shopping campaigns.
well, I think you
Sorry,
went
can
to
you hear me?
you went to the other one. So okay, let me go.
Oh, did you? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so sorry, reverting backwards. Sorry, I went a little ahead of myself. Google is basically warning site owners that their site is not mobile friendly in mobile search results at this time. A month before Google mobile friendly algorithm boost, Google starts issuing new warnings to site owners. Google is now issuing a new type of warning to the site owners. Basically, if the site is not mobile friendly, the new warnings will show directly in the mobile search results, but only to the site owner, and when Google knows that the searcher is the owner of the site. For example, we use a little example there. It says Jennifer Sledge has an old site that is not mobile friendly, and she reported that when she views the site in the mobile search results, it says to her in the little snippet, your page is not mobile friendly. The message is basically a hyperlink to the Google Help page about the mobile friendly. Basically, they're stating that what Jen sees as the site owner of a non-mobile friendly site. You'll see the picture that I added there. You can see what it looks like with the warning and without the warning. So it shows both differences there. The new warning basically comes a month prior to Google boosting the mobile friendly algorithm. Okay, so I thought I'd share that with you. Armando, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, this is actually something that, again, Google forewarns. They are doing the due diligence in essence, or their homework, in letting people know in advance. So if your client still, still, you know, hasn't still moved into a responsive website or a mobile-friendly website, and they're still relentlessly not listening to you or your advice and refuse to get their mobile upgraded. Listen, it looks like with this next mobile-friendly update that will happen in the next weeks, coming weeks, in the next, I believe the schedule is for May, for this to happen, that it definitely will impact. And Google has been very aggressive in by actually warning site owners about showing these type of warnings on their sites. This means that they are serious. So again, I mean, because I work with ICs, and I'm working with them on some of their existing clients and potential new clients, prospects. I always see this type of an opportunity where their site's still not mobile friendly. So definitely, uh, uh, you know they want to make sure that your site's friendly. Now, a very great question is, number one, how does this mobile update impact owners who have two sites, one desktop and one mobile? Very good question, Dave. The key thing is to make sure that if you're using the same URL, and that you do have uh, a mobile site or a mobile based site or with its own CMS, just make sure that where you're doing the SEO on it, it's integrated well. So it's all about the integrated, and it's going to be very important that the signals from the mobile site are passed on to the desktop to let Google know that they are connected. So definitely check with your supplier or your SEO team to make sure that those signals are passed by. And I know that they do it through a specific coding, so it's very important that you double check with that. What I'm going to do from my side, I'm going to ask you know what, Amalia, if you can take a note, and I definitely will reach out to you, Dave, on offline, just to confirm with the team. And I'm gonna probably even share the answer with everybody next week. But I will have this answer for you, Dave. But I know that there is a technical side that happens where you know I believe it's at the hosting level that you notify it notifies that both of them are integrated or one in the same, right? The one is a mobile and one is a desktop, right? So I will get that technical answer for you. The other one is, how does Google determine site ownership when warning about mobile unfriendliness? Well, Mark, you know what? Let me dig into this. Amalia, you based on your reading of this article, does it show like how how did the Jen know I mean, how did the Google know that it was Jen's site? Is it because she's just reviewing her own site on her mobile, or how
I'm
does
not
that
too
work?
sure. Yeah, I'm so sorry. They didn't really elaborate on that. I believe it was just her own search, and maybe she just, delivered that message to them. And I really don't know. They didn't really elaborate on that, to be quite honest. But I know it's testing that they were doing to see if sites are mobile friendly. So maybe it's just somebody that provided feedback.
Okay. Well, you know
Yeah,
what,
because they were running
Mark,
different.
I'll also I'll put that in Amalia's to ask the team if how does that work, and do a little bit of research, and we'll definitely share that with you. So two questions that we're taking away from you. That's very good. Early in the morning. Excellent. So thank you for that one, for that question, for those questions, and also thank you, Amalia. I believe you're also going to share with you some updates that are happening with Google AdWords.
That is correct. Yeah. So this was a slide I started on earlier. I'm going to bring it back to you. It's Google makes AdWord products tabs more useful for shopping campaigns. In addition to the new product level columns, inventory data comes to the products group tab, and reports editor gets shopping attributes. I provide a little image there for you to read what message is there. Google is basically finally bringing some functional heft to the products tab. Managers will now find a product status and effective max CPC. Basically, that's columns in the products tab in AdWords. The product status column, you can add it from the columns drop down. Will let you know if a specific product is ready to serve disapproved, or excluded, or out of stock. So it's providing you all this little information now. With the new effective max CPC column, you can make bid adjustments right from the products tab on individual products within your product groups. Also, speaking of the products groups tab, new inventory status columns are also now available. You can basically see the percentages and the totals for the products ready to serve, active or approved. So it's giving us all this additional information, which is great. Again, I provided the image if you see on the far right corner. And also in another tidbit, there is a bonus for the shopping campaign managers. Google has also added more shopping information in the AdWords Reporter Editor. You can now see attributes like brand or product type or shopping campaigns, and basically building charts and tables for reporting. So I thought that was really great to share. That's a new update with Google. So Armando, did you want to add to that as well, or?
No, that's fine. I mean, I
Yeah.
just for
Mm-hmm.
those ICs primarily that enjoy running their own PPC campaigns, just an update for
Yeah.
them. It makes it easier, right? So it's just a functionality that they're adding. One of the key things that I've read was that this would definitely save a little bit of time, makes it more user friendly. So it's more on that sense than actually providing a lot of value. But it's still, if it saves you time uh, to look at data, the better. So just wanted to, if you are running your own paid campaigns and sometimes you're looking for this type of information, definitely now with the products tab you can get more functionality as it's more useful. Thank you, Amalia. The other piece of news that I did want to share with you that I found it's very short but very interesting. Google My Business iOS app now lets business owners manage holidays and special hours. So Google just released an updated version of their Google My Business app for iOS, and they do have a number of features that I will kind of highlight. But the biggest one is that it gives the ability of business owners to change their hours of operation temporarily for a holiday or a special event directly in the app. So why is that important? Well, you know why? I know that sometimes ICs manage their clients' My Business pages. So I've actually spoken to a few ICs that have the app, the Google My Business app, and they log in and are able to. Obviously, it's a little bit of work because you have to log in into different accounts, but it just makes it more flexible. Google be bringing this to mobile through an app, allowing allowing business owners to change their hours of operation, if you will, on the go. So once more, two things that Google is focusing on here is user experience and you providing the latest information on Google My Business. So very, very important that you know ahead of any type of promotion or holiday or special event that your client does leverage from Google My Business, because Google is putting an emphasis on on Google My Business by adding all these features, and they actually want you to have the latest information. And a lot of the times when we're reviewing Google My Business pages, they're very, very empty. They're not well optimized. They don't even have hours of operation, and you have to definitely take advantage of this and try to get your client to provide you with the information. So again, this is a very important notification also, not because of the iOS app, because that's just a flexibility, but the fact of the matter that you know what, you should have your hours of operation for temporary special events or holidays up to date, because Google wants you to do that. And ideally in the past, like they mentioned, you were able to manage these through the desktop or web portal, but now everything is in your fingertips. So Google's providing the tools for business owners to manage it easily. Other features, as I was going to mention, include a drag and drop menu to change your primary business category and phone number. So it makes it a little bit easier. It's more of the drag and drop menu. A quick and easy way to mark whether or not your business is permanently closed. So it definitely gives you that opportunity. New support for landscape mode in the app. So different view, and it seems to be working. Now, as this update was released by Google, I believe on last week, a few bugs were detected, and Google was notified, and this seems to have been corrected as of yesterday, April 11th. So, if you want to take advantage of this app, test it out before you have your clients start using it. Definitely, I would recommend you download it and try it out before you start educating your client on how to use it. But again, it just gives you a bit of an idea of Google's emphasis on Google My Business, specifically if your clients are looking to optimizing locally. You want to make sure you have all the fields completed, as much information as possible, and that your clients cooperate with you when filling this out. So again, very, very important. Excellent, excellent. So moving along here, just to the next piece of news, article. I came across this very interesting article. As a matter of fact, if it was actually from HubSpot, the team at HubSpot that actually were able to publish it on Search Engine Land, and they do have some great feedback in regards to the things they don't tell you about SEO. So this is a little bit about managing expectations, about sales, about educating your client, and also about the reality and importance of certain aspects of SEO. Okay, and as you go out there and you begin interacting with prospects, and you're taking them through the WSI consultancy process, I'm pretty sure you always run into clients who have done SEO, or who have heard about SEO, or who have been, let's say, consulted by a marketing person about SEO, not necessarily an SEO expert, but a marketing person on SEO. And for them, you know what, they believe that SEO is very easy, right? That it's, as long as you, and the most common perception or belief out there is that as long as you have some high quality optimized content, you can sit back and wait for the traffic to come. That's all it takes, right? Good quality content. And sometimes, and many of the times actually, companies underestimate the resources needed for an SEO campaign, right? They think that they can do it on their own. You just need a content writer, and want to make sure that it's keyword optimized, and away you go. However, they don't realize that it takes more than just great content to have a successful SEO campaign, right? And a lot of these beliefs are based on the fact that, again, they read it perhaps in an article online, maybe even proceeded to read a few case studies on content, on SEO, and whatever comes up. And unfortunately, in our industry, there's a lot of voices, a lot of chatter that happens. It's very difficult to really, for a person who doesn't understand SEO, to who to believe, right? So they'll just believe whatever they read, and it makes sense to them, and now all of a sudden they become experts. And when you try to educate them, and this could be an existing client or a new client, it could be a small medium-sized business owner, or even a director of marketing, or even a VP of marketing that you're meeting with, right? So across all levels, it's all about, create, what they read is create lots of great content, and it's all, that's a start to rank. Google loves fresh content, so the more the better. Okay, so that's one of those misconceptions that are out there. Now, I'm not saying great content, it's not important, but it's just one part of the equation of the many factors that are important, or the many ranking factors that are very important for a successful SEO strategy. The other thing that I kind of was interesting to me, and I wanted to share this because I always see this. I always see this with ICs when they get their monthly reports. So if you look at the left-hand graph, this is the belief, or the misconception, you can say, or what typically customers expect from an SEO campaign. Their expectations, what they think it's going to be an upward curve all the time. So time and traffic. So as long as I'm doing SEO, my traffic should always be up, 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 up and about. So this is the dream. This is what they believe it is, and in reality, this is what it looks like. Right? It's a series of ups and downs, and through this series of ups and downs, hills and valleys, you are going to have valleys of drop. Right? It could be a number of reasons. Look at here. This could be a seasonal spike, etc. And this is what you need to educate your client. This is a very important. If I could, share anything with you, that when you are educating your clients on SEO or any type of digital marketing, you have to help them understand that it is all about hills and valleys and an upward long-term mobility. Because if you were to draw a line, you can see that it does go up, but it's not a straight line, right? And when ICs get the reports, and let's say you have 2 months of underperformance, they're actually afraid to talk to the client. And the reason is because this is what the picture that perhaps you have painted to your client without knowing, or you haven't managed. So you have to erase this picture away from your client and have them see a picture that's relevant to this. Now, obviously, depending on things, you don't want things to go all the time down. There's some issues that do happen, but I know that the moment you have a bad month, I see sometimes ICs afraid to speak with their clients, or they don't even want to talk to their clients. As a matter of fact, I was speaking with an IC a few weeks back, and they actually told me that they don't like speaking with their clients because they just send them the report via email, and they don't like talking to clients because the more interaction, either I'm not using their time wisely, or I don't want to get technical questions from them, or I don't want them to ask me questions about the report. This is not the right way of approaching things. I believe that you got to educate the client, and your monthly reporting meetings are very important for you to share best business, share highlight wins, and also, you know what, from time to time you will have losses, right? So again, this is a very interesting image where this is what they believe and this is the reality, right? So anyways, wanted to share that with you. So you have to be able to educate your clients on what's important. And they believe that if you have great content, you're gonna be always on the up and up and up and up. Well, in reality, whether you have great, even if you have great content with the right supporting tactics, supporting SEO tactics, you're still gonna have peaks and valleys. Okay. So what they mentioned, and you got to understand that HubSpot, they generate a lot of content, right? The content that comes out of HubSpot's website, and they do have a very good SEO authority. It's a lot of content, but you'll see something that they actually share. Contrary to popular belief, great content isn't enough. If you don't have a great promotion too, then the content will end up gathering dust in the nether regions of Google search results, right? So again, it's about having great content with a promotion, great content with a call to action, great content that speaks to your buyer personas, if you will, great content that speaks to your target audience, right? It has to have meaningful purpose. And sometimes you see great case studies, articles with a lot of information, that your client has on their website, and they're just collecting dust. They don't use it properly. So content needs to be promoted well, otherwise it sits by itself collecting dust. So not the other component is that not all your content will rank if it's not optimized properly, if it's not promoted properly, if it's not giving that SEO juice that they require to make it successful. So you can look at this specific stat here where you can see the leads were generated from 5,970 posts. So about 54% of the posts generated this much. But 30 posts, their top 30 posts, their most well optimized 30 posts generating 46%. So if you were to look at this number, right, 5970 plus 30 will give you approximately 6,000. So out of 6,000 posts that they have on their website, 30 of them generated the most leads, right? And this was the most optimized. So very, very important about the results of this graph. So I kind of wanted to share this specifically with you because what they've mentioned is that they continuously, look at this data, and when they're looking at the type of posts that they have, they go back to see what these 30 posts have that the other 5970 aren't, and they try to little by little mimic that and increase that. And what they found is that they've been able to do a couple of things that are very important And one of them, they start with promoting the actual blog post properly. And there's a few strategies that they use that I'm going to share with you. Just coming up with a question. Okay, so moving along, then, what are the ways that that you can actually promote your content? So obviously, social book marketing, in blogging sites, right, that are SEO friendly, right, what they call blog submissions, right, and one of the key things that they identify is that backlinks do matter to build an SEO authority. So if you want to create great content, it's one thing, but you also want to have a link strategy connected to your content, right? So you want to make sure that backlinks are set up properly through social bookmarking sites. You also want to look at blogging submission sites, right? Where you can actually publish that content. And it's not about over publishing it. It's about having a very good strategy. The other element that you want to take into consideration that does take a little bit more time is when you do outreach linking, where particularly want to have very strong SEO sites backlinking to your specific post because it's relevant. So there's a couple of things that you have to make sure that you're doing if you want to earn the link from a reputable, let's say, online newspaper, magazine, etc. They link back to you. They use you as a reference, but it has to be very, very, very well thought out, and it has to be very relevant. Okay, so here in this one, the writer actually talks about one of the things that they discover is that backlinks are probably the single most important factor to a ranking for competitive search terms, and they matter just as much to establish as to brand new sites. So, for example, if you look at here, the level of organic traffic that they were getting, right? For example, I think this is in the uh, 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 300 links, right? That they had average number of external links at 300. You can see that their organic traffic was very superior. And obviously, if you don't have a lot of links, you can see that the traffic that's earned through this type of link strategy is very minimal, right? So again, it's not just about creating great content, it's also about having a supporting backlink strategy or a link building strategy to support the content, right? So in our adaptive SEO, how does this relate to WSI? In our adaptive SEO methodology, if you are working with a production team, you will always notice that on a monthly basis when content is created, the team actually supports that content with a link strategy. So there's an X number of linking activities that are completed to make sure that the posts or the content that is being uploaded into the blogs, whether it doesn't matter if it's a text content, it could be any type of content, video, images, infographics, etc. As long as you have a very important link strategy. Okay, and you can see the results here based on what they actually did. Content and posts that were in HubSpot that only had 0 to 19 external links linking back to it only generated this much of traffic, but those posts that had more links, you can actually see that that was very important for those external links. So again, you got to have a combination. Okay, and also I want to highlight here that this 300, you also want to make sure that they're reputable, clean links, and even though it emphasizes the amount, it also emphasizes the quality. Okay, so it's not about if you want a specific article or blog post or a piece of content that you want to promote, that all of a sudden you are going after hundreds of linking sites. No, you got to have it properly. It has to be very relevant. So that's also an important aspect of it. But as you can see from the study done, the more external links to a specific piece of content, the higher the traffic results. Okay, excellent. Just moving along here. Oh, sorry. So the other component that I forgot to mention here that's also very important, it's also promoting that content through social media, which is also a fundamental step in our adaptive SEO methodology. And I'm going to actually talk a little bit about it in the next article, which highlights the importance of generating traffic through social media. Okay, so definitely, how else can you promote your content? Not just through backlinks, but also making sure that that content is published through the different social media properties. So any content that you're developing on a monthly basis should be part of should be posted on the client's social media properties like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, etc. And this doesn't mean that you have to publish the whole entire content, piece of content. Even if you do a snippet, you optimize it, and you link it back to the site, it could definitely also earn you not just traffic, but some good SEO or some good positive social signals. Sorry, very positive social signals. So again, it's not about great content. It's also about making sure that you have a promotion, that obviously there's a call to action. There's a, you're addressing the buyer's intent, and the other thing is, having a very sound link building strategy tied to that specific content as well as social media. Okay. Excellent. Moving along in the next article from actually Moz, and I'm going to start sharing more content from Moz on a weekly basis with you. I know that sometimes there's so many things that we have to share with you on a daily basis that it's very hard to bring everything into compacted into an hour. But this one was very interesting, and because it kind of brought into light other aspects that as I wouldn't even say just SEOs, but as digital marketing experts, how do we go out there? What are those new things that we can look into expanding our clients' traffic to the site, right? And because Moz is really geared towards SEOs primarily, you can say, it's common practice that SEOs invest all their time and energies into just one search engine. And so the article speaks to really SEOs just focusing on Google per se, right? And by focusing only on Google, it's a very limited approach, right? You have to go fishing outside of Google. You have to go out there and look for traffic outside of Google. And there are various ways that as a digital marketer, and it doesn't have to be paid search. We're looking at ideally increasing organically, right? Or via referral or direct traffic, well, mainly referral or organic traffic, let's say. So the bottom line is that you can't just rely purely on one search engine. And specifically now, going back to the mid-February updates that Google made in regards to the, adding the 4 paid ads on top, removing the right-hand rail, etc. That kind of added more pressure on the organic side. And again, studies and numbers and are still very too early to decide what was the big shift. And I mentioned that we will continue to update you as it happens. However, you have to be very proactive. That if indeed this change does become a bit of a negative impact on organic, you want to make sure that you are prepared. Now, Dr. Pete, which is a very well-known SEO influence, specifically within the Moz community, but also outside, very reputable. I would always recommend to any IC to read anything that Dr. Pete has to share, because for the most part, he's very, very, very thorough, very clean. He's a subject matter expert when it comes to SEO. And what he kind of highlighted in one of his recent articles was with 4 paid ads on top, right? Google is setting itself up in the enviable position of being able to control 80% of the results above the fold. So looking at the area of above the fold in a search engine results page, you can see that above the fold being 80% of that really belongs to Google. And I'll share a quick example in the next slide. So the scenario raises many questions. And actually concerns of what impact will this have on organic results. So the actual example that the author gave in regards to Google capitalizing on the above the fold results page. So here's an example. When you look at Buddhism and you are looking in and you want to learn about this relation, for example, now it's a single keyword, right? It's just a primary keyword, but you can see right away that this is just a screenshot that above the fold already you're looking at 4 ads, and then you have obviously your Wikipedia results. And where are your organic searches? So that already may have an impact if the person who's looking for a specific service may not even scroll down. They may actually just rather you know um, consciously or unconsciously just click on the by default just click on the ads, right? So what is the impact on SEO? Again, right now this is just more of a proactive approach to not depending on Google, but it does beg to ask that question. Data is still inconclusive, as I mentioned last week. There hasn't been a lot of changes yet. In regards to that, there's not enough data to say, well, you know what, that there's been a drop of organic traffic overall in the last year, etc. So, over the last few months, it hasn't been dire straits, but still, that the question does beg. So what is the alternative? Okay, what are other ways that we can generate more traffic? We can talk about Bing, and we always talk about Bing, and Bing is a good search engine that you should be, optimizing for organically and try to follow their best business practices as well. So don't just focus on Google. But there's a lot of articles also that talk about Bing. But what I wanted to share with you and what the author talked about is really focusing on DuckDuckGo, which is right now considered the fastest growing search engine. Okay, and one of the advantages that DuckDuckGo has is that because right now everything on the internet is gradually changing from a trackable arena into a more private and anonymous realm, because more and more people are also searching incognito, right, if you will, quote unquote. Uh, DuckDuckGo, just the way they're set up, they find themselves, first in line to exploit this new frontier of SEO opportunity, right? And as you can see here in this graph, there is a correlation where you are looking at a total increase of direct queries, more than 12 million per day, okay? And DuckDuckGo had more than 108 million visits in 1 month, which is an increase of 22% in their total traffic, right? So what that tells you is that, specifically this data by SimilarWeb, that you shouldn't ignore this search engine. So as a digital marketer, if you are in a situation where you've been relying too much on Google and you're trying to find new ways, be proactive about finding new ways of generating traffic, start looking at DuckDuckGo for traffic, right? Start positioning your website in a way that it should be, DuckDuckGo friendly as well. Okay, doesn't mean that you're going to generate lots of traffic, but you will get some traffic that will compensate perhaps for some of the lost traffic that you could be losing from Google because of the changes that they've made, right? So it is another option. So now you have Bing, which is a good option, and now you can actually look at DuckDuckGo as a potential action. And the reason is because it continues to grow. And just look at this from last year to this year. It's definitely, it's on the up and up trend, and the numbers don't lie, where you have more than 12 million queries per day, and when you have 108 million visits in 1 month. So people are using this search engine little by little, right? So there is a target audience there that you should be capitalizing on. The other thing that they talk about is, one of the advantages that they have is that uh, uh, they only has one position on top for ads. So you can see that the way they've set up their ads are at the top, and you primarily get 2 ads at the top. So this sets up a high lucrative difference between the CTR of the top results in DuckDuck compared to Google, because now you have more space above the fold to focus on organic rankings, because Google would typically dominate the first 4 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4. You wouldn't see anything organic until the bottom, but in this case, right away, you can start seeing some results, organic results, right after the second spot. So very important that, consider DuckDuckGo, right? Give it a shot. Do some research, give it a shot, and definitely, if you want to share with us, we'll be more than happy to to prepare a case study and work with you to do that. But again, it is another option that you should be considering as an SEO. And again, we're not saying to shift all of your energies into DuckDuckGo, but it's a way for you to look at alternatives as well. Okay. The other one, which typically, you know what, I'm not a big proponent of uh, uh, of um, of this one myself, because the stats do mention in regards to the level of results that you get from social media traffic. But this article definitely shares some very, very, very good good feedback in regards to the growth marketing opportunity of social media traffic. Okay, so what they've actually seen based on statistics in similar web traffic stats was that Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are starting to really drive traffic into a site, right? Perhaps not as much as an organic strategy does or an SEO strategy. However, little by little, social media traffic is becoming an important key player, which kind of goes back to the article which I was mentioning before. If you have great content, make sure that you post it on social media, right? Make sure that you alert your social media audience and drive them back to your site. So it is a great way of driving traffic, right? And as you can see below here, here are the top 5 social networks that are driving, that are producing outgoing traffic, right? And based on this study by SimilarWeb, 3.5 billion desktop visits were sent from Facebook, right? So that was only in January 2016. So just this past January, they sent more than 3.5 billion desktop visits to other sites. So it is growing, right? And definitely you want to make sure that even though your clients may say, well, Facebook, Facebook is more of a personal thing. Facebook may not be relevant to my business. Well, at least have a professional Facebook page, right? And if you can update your content there, you don't have to have a Facebook strategy, full-blown strategy with multiple posts on a weekly, monthly basis. Even if any type of content that you're promoting on your website, you post it there, at least you have an active Facebook account, because again, it is driving traffic. So I mean, that the fact is there that it's definitely generating a lot of traffic. So one of those things is that you want to make sure that you do have part of your SEO strategy, a social media strategy aligned, where you can promote your content and you are generating traffic from these areas: Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And this is important also because video, again, I continue to to kind of highlight this in our webinars. Video is a very important part of any type of an SEO strategy as well, and YouTube is at the heart of it. And this is not just YouTube paid advertisements, but also organic. It's driving traffic to sites, right? So consider that. Beyond just organic SEO, if you've lost a little bit of organic SEO in a couple of months, or you're looking for ideas, again, I shared with you a couple of ideas already. Let's try Bing, try DuckDuckGo, and now you have social media traffic. Okay, and it's all about tying it together with your SEO strategy. And here's another one that it's also another strategy that you should consider, which I am very glad that part of our own link building strategy is to look into referral sites as part of the adaptive SEO methodology. But you can also see here, sometimes you can say, well, referral traffic is bad. Not all referral traffic is bad. Spammy referral traffic is bad, but there are some great referral sites out there that are generating some outgoing traffic as well. And this is desktop. We don't have mobile numbers, only desktop traffic. But if you can see here, twitchtv.tv, feedly.com, churchreport.com, these three, for example, are actually generating more traffic than Wikipedia and IMDb, which was very interesting. Blogger.com is just another referral site. So if you can get your content posted on these good referral sites, and they're linking back to your site, you could potentially be looking at another way of generating additional traffic. Okay, so wanted to share this with you because sometimes we get stuck on the fact that we're not doing so great on Google, and that um, and that you know, we get really, we're very hard on ourselves because we're not generating organic traffic, SEO traffic, but SEO traffic should go beyond, you know, just Google. You have to look at a different way. So specifically for new ICs, you know, you want to make sure that when you're considering your strategy, you're looking beyond that. So I wanted to share that with you. I know there's a few questions here, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be definitely uh, um, showing a little bit more examples next week in regards to the advantages of DuckDuckGo and how to SEO with DuckDuckGo, because I have a few questions here in regards to how can a client take advantage of DuckDuckGo, how can you optimize for it. So next week, for sure, I will have as part of our webinar some of the best business practices on how to get your sites organically optimized with DuckDuckGo. Just because, you know, kind of running a little bit out of time, but I will definitely take the time to do it next week. So again, I think that as we continue to explore the world of SEO and digital marketing as a whole, you want to make sure that you have a very well thought out strategy. And I wanted to share the article because again, you know, you want to be on the leading edge. You want to be able to provide value to your clients, and by having a strategy beyond Google, it gives you that. So thank you for being with us today. Definitely covered a lot, and look forward to having more information for you on DuckDuckGo, and answer some of the questions that we had, great questions that we had today. Amalia, anything from your side?
I just want to thank everybody for joining us, and we look forward to next week.
Excellent. Thank you everybody for joining, and next week we'll be back at the same time. Take care. Have yourself a great week. Bye bye.